My boyfriend, 29 male, and I, 22 male, have been dating for a bit over 3 years and have known each other for 6. He and his ex, 29, female, have known each other since high school. They drifted apart after graduation, then met again and started dating for a few months. She broke up with him because she didn't love him, but they decided to stay in touch as friends. They didn't talk or hang out, especially since she has moved to another state, but they'd occasionally play games online together. For a few months now, my boyfriend has been laid off. There are not a lot of construction jobs in the wintertime when the weather is bad. He has had plenty of time to reconnect with his friend, X, and they have been playing games or talking for hours every day. I still work full-time and keep to my schedule, but my boyfriend has been going to bed past midnight each night. We haven't gone to bed together in 2 months. His ex told him that she lost custody of her children to her ex-husband, for many probably totally valid reasons. She also said that she is being evicted from her apartment because it is under new ownership and she couldn't afford rent anymore. In reality, she is spending all of her disability money on alcohol and she isn't getting child support money anymore because she lost her kids. She has nowhere else to go, no family to turn to, and her online boyfriend she was going to move in with just broke up with her. My boyfriend has been sending her money for years whenever she said she needed it, but this time he is broke too. So his next best idea was to invite her to live with us. He talked to her about it, and they even came up with a plan to get her here before the idea was even mentioned to me. I refused the idea of it, and my boyfriend thinks I am being unreasonable. He thinks that I am worried that he will sleep with her and has assured me that it would never happen because he is not attracted to her and that they have never slept together before, even when dating. I admit that I am worried, but not necessarily about S. There is more than one way to cheat, and with him spending all of his waking hours talking to her online, I don't want to know how it will escalate in person. Besides the obvious that she is someone he cares for and has dated in the past, I feel like there are a lot of good reasons to not let her move in. This topic has led to probably the second major fight we've ever had. I love my boyfriend, but I don't know why he is so insistent on helping his ex. She was his first relationship, and sometimes it really feels like he still loves her. I feel bad about her current situation, but I also feel like a lot of it she got herself into. I feel so uncomfortable with not knowing if my boyfriend wants to help because he has a good heart, or if it's because he still loves her. Either way, it feels like she is just taking advantage of him. I was hoping to get advice on what someone else would do in this situation. Is it the right thing to do to let his ex live with us until she can get back on her feet? Is there any way I can convince my boyfriend to get over her and move on? Nope. This isn't about S. This is about the rolling ball of horrific drama that his ex-girlfriend is. You don't need that crap in your home. A jobless alcoholic on disability playing video games all day with your unemployed boyfriend. This is not what you want your life to be like. I understand you're wanting to be kind, but I don't know her or care about her, and I don't want her in my home. If that's not acceptable to you, I understand, but it's not going to happen. She's an alcoholic. She's not getting back on her feet. If she moves in, it will most likely be the end of your relationship. He's cheating already. He's having an emotional affair with her. The two of them are a team. You're the outsider. It seems he's never gotten over her and is still in a codependent relationship with her, just without the S. I'm so sorry. My wife and I married straight out of college. Our daughter is the oldest. We also have a 25 male, 22 female, and a 16 male. Our daughter broke up with her high school and college sweetheart when she was 21 and he was 22 because he was working at least 70 hours a week at his banking job. I feel my wife never got over it. My daughter started dating a guy that my wife didn't like because she felt my daughter loved him way more than he loved her. They had their first child, 8 female, soon after, but only got married after the birth of their second child, 6 female. My wife started to like him more because of the grandkids. However, he cheated multiple times, bounced between jobs due to how irresponsible he was, and my daughter finally filed for divorce because she found out he had been taking out thousands in her name. Now, her landlord is saying the CDC eviction moratorium does not apply to them, since their property isn't HUD-backed, and had her served. However, my wife is angry she didn't stick it out, and blamed her for making a bad decision in partners, and expecting others to suffer for it. Therefore, when she caught our son using Venmo to give his sister some money, she suspended his allowance. She also said that she would be watching our bank account. She's also mad about the fact that my daughter's college sweetheart is now a VP at a private equity firm, who is at the Hamptons every summer and got engaged to his fiancée, 25 female. Basically, she has put a freeze on any assistance to my daughter. I text my daughter regularly, but I feel like I'm basically doing what cheaters do with their phones. My wife even threatened that she'd take our son and leave for her mother's house if I sent aid. What do I do? My 25-year-old has been telling us to just withdraw a bit of cash for whatever, and then he'll send it to his sister. The hell? Your wife sounds, from the limited information here, really darn controlling. So controlling that she is making you feel like a cheater for talking to your daughter, who is getting out of an A relationship. Time for you to sit your wife down and tell her that your daughter is your daughter, your grandkids are your grandkids, and you are going to be there for them no matter what. Tell her that daughter's relationship choices are not in any way her decision, or something that is meant to make her suffer. Tell her that she has absolutely zero ducking right to punish your other children for acting like concerned family members. You need to stand up to your wife. Your daughter made a poor choice in a partner. I'm sure she lives with that regret daily. For your wife to want to punish her is beyond disturbing. You need to have the come to Jesus conversation with her and lay it down. My 23 male, mom, 45 female, told me I have 30 days to move out today. I already have a job, but it's commission only and not working out. Yesterday, I spent the day looking for a better job. My mom suggested I change oil for my uncle because she thinks that will make me a certified mechanic. His shop is 68 miles away, and the job is for $11 an hour. My uncle is also one of those guys who makes a mistake and screams at you for it. I helped him move some furniture and got the absolute worst of it last summer. Then he bought me lunch. Naturally, I declined because I have an interview with the bank next week, and I filled out apps. She also confiscated my phone. Says she took pictures of a conversation where I mentioned I tried C a while ago, and she said, "I'm going to use this against you if I have to. Just remember that." What led up to this was during dinner she asked if I would work for my uncle, and I said I would think about it. But the wage was too low to be driving that far every day, 6 days a week. Her boyfriend also agreed it was a bad move. She then tried to illustrate how bad I am with money by asking, "So what happened to all that money you saved up?" referring to my big cash stack when I was 19. My mistake was I told the truth. I said, "Well, after you got that DUI, I bailed you out for $1,000. Then you borrowed the other $2,200 for bills. Then you kept borrowing from every paycheck I got until it came down to my emergency $50 I keep in the car. Then you said since you were my mom that you shouldn't have to pay me back," which made her boyfriend nearly die from laughter. So she confiscated my phone, which I left on the counter, and took my plate and scraped it into the garbage. What are my rights and options for being evicted, as well as holding potentially damaging information against me as leverage for some unnamed circumstance? She has the audacity to evict you with 30 days notice? There's no point in taking legal action. It's more money than you have, and all you would do is damage the relationship more. And there's nothing that would make it 100% certain she wouldn't keep the messages. It sucks, but ultimately it's her home, and I assume you're living there for free, cheap, or moving out wouldn't make a difference anyways. She's allowed to make the rules in her house, no matter how irrational anyone else thinks they might be. She's probably just tired of supporting you, and you not making what she would consider to be progress. Move out, be successful. Prove her wrong, because that's the best revenge. In early 2016, my dad mentioned he was going on a date with a girl, Elle, he knew from high school. Less than a few days after that, I was told that she, her 2 kids, C+X, and her dog would be moving in 2 days because they're getting evicted. I lived with my dad at the time, and we were as close as you can get. For a little bit of context, at the time I was 17, now I am 21, female. My dad and I were 2 peas in a pod. We did everything together. Mondays were homemade pizza nights, Thursday was our grocery shopping night, Fridays were our movie nights, and Sunday was the day we'd go and see our closer relatives, as Grandpa on that side passed in the recent years. They ended up moving in that 2 days later, and all of the BS started the day they moved in. We'll start out with the least of the worst. Elle, the first day I met her, told me to spit my gum out because we were about to leave to get ice cream. I would have listened had she not said it like she was trying to control me like my mom, or a teacher. Her daughter, C, within a day, started accusing me of taking her clothes, when she flat out told me I could borrow any of her clothes as long as I asked her first, which I didn't even have the chance to do yet. The schedule my dad and I had for 3 years was immediately thrown out of the window because Elle didn't like it. Fast forward to last Christmas. I didn't know it at the time, but my grandma gave me her last ever present for me. A Victoria's Secret box filled with Victoria's Secret clothes, along with a $200 Visa gift card. Less than a week later, C started accusing me of stealing money off of her dresser, which my dad immediately sided with her and told me I need to give it back to her. I was working nearly 20 hours a week at the time, all while being in school. I didn't need the money, nor did I take it. As I was going to put away my presents the next day, my Victoria's Secret box was gone. Clothes, gift card, and all. Being the little snoop I am, I had a hunch C had taken it. So I went in her room, and what's peeking out from underneath her bed? The ducking box. I told my dad as soon as I noticed it, and his first response was, "Well, why did you go into her room?" Followed with, "I don't think she would do that." Are you ducking kidding me? Words never hurt me so bad. You're going to take someone's word that you've known for less than a year, rather than your own daughter's? Not only that, but the box is still in her room under the bed. Go look. Later that night, she ends up admitting to stealing the box from me. The next day, I get a call from my now deceased uncle, telling me that I should just give her money back to her, and that it's not fair of me to have just taken it. I've never felt so confused before. Why are they believing them over me? Their own daughter, niece, granddaughter. My grandma died within the following days believing I was a thief and a liar. Less than a week's time showed that she left her money in a pair of pants that ended up getting washed in the laundry machine. My dad came up to me with near puppy dog eyes, saying how sorry he was. But I just couldn't deal with the fact that he took their word over mine in a heartbeat and convinced my family that I was a thief. There was no backlash at all towards my stepsister. I moved in with my mom in less than a month after that, and I haven't looked back since. It's been 4 years with no contact. They're now married, and there's still a void in my heart that wants to be filled, but I feel the damage is too far done. I love my dad, but after how close we used to be and how badly he treated me, I just can't believe he would do that. So I guess I'm asking for advice on how to overcome this situation, the grief of losing your best friend, and how to properly move on from this experience. What is it with parents marrying D-bags and immediately changing colors like chameleons, treating their own children like crap? This seems like a common theme I've seen here. Horrible parents who don't deserve any good, then wondering why their kids don't talk to them. My 22 female sister, 24 female, has been dating this guy for about a year. Ayerk, he's 29. The second time my mom met him, he came over with my sister and started a fight with my mom about politics and called her out of her name multiple times. She told him to get out and that he wasn't allowed back. A while after, my sister begged her to let him stay there because they'd recently been evicted from their apartment and had nowhere to stay. She was screaming at my mom to let him stay, but she wouldn't budge. Fast forward months later, my sister is living here. Her boyfriend was staying with a friend. He gets kicked out of there, and my sister starts secretly bringing him into her room to sleep and shower. The way our house is set up, he can easily come in and out with no interaction with our mom. He will take 45-plus-minute showers every day, just standing in there, I guess, because he's bald as well and doesn't even shave. I think he's taking full advantage as a big duck you to my mom. He also goes in the fridge, and I had a drink in there that I went to go get. It was gone. Neither my mom nor sister drink soda, so I knew it was him. I am unable to drive, so they both know to not eat the food that's mine. At this point, I'm getting irritated at the disrespect towards us. But I'm scared to say anything, because my sister uses her anger issues as an intimidation against us to not say anything or start problems. I really need an outside perspective on this. So your spoiled sister screams and shouts when she doesn't get her way, and everyone gives in to her. Fine, that's one thing. That's just weak parenting and crappy family dynamics. But her sneaking in someone who is not paying their way, who has verbally abused and disrespected your mother in the past, and who takes food and drink without replacing it. Nah, that is something else entirely. Tell your mother everything. Duck your spoiled sister's toddler tantrums. So what if she screams? Let her. Just treat her like an adult treats a screaming 2-year-old. Say, I am not going to listen to you until you calm down and apologize. Then walk away and do not interact with her until she apologizes. If it takes a day, a week, a month, so ducking what?